What is up, my brothers from another mother? Got a requested video today, a sponsored video, if you will, from a gentleman who is a 23-year-old man looking for some life career advice. Before we hop into it, the channel sponsor, the Tactical Soap Company, a man kind enough to support the creation of content on this channel. You're showering anyways, consider supporting the creation of this content by checking out with coupon code Cooper. There's a link pinned in the description below. You'll get a 10% discount, again, when you check out with coupon code Cooper. It's a high-quality handmade product infused with pheromones. Let's hop straight into this. Thank you for taking my request. A 23-year-old struggling with career after taking the red pill. I'm getting ready to go to school for nursing, and I eventually want to be a nurse practitioner. Median is around 100K. And join the Army Reserves to eventually be an officer. I'm a personal trainer right now, but I do not want to do that for the rest of my life because of the random hours. The other problem with personal training, folks, if you're ever considering a job in that sphere or scope, is you're always going to charge a block of time for a block of money. So if your rate's $50, you're always going to make $50 for that. Always consider getting yourself in a position where you can multiply that, where you work for one block of time, but you continuously get paid for that time invested is always some of the best advice that I think any young man could take. When I became a nurse practitioner, I still want to do online personal training and in person until I meet somebody I want to spend the rest of my life with. Just that right there, my friend. I just want to caution you to that thought process. It's almost like you have idealized some perfect unicorn type of woman out there that might fulfill that opportunity for you to spend the rest of your life with her. There's just women. There's no good ones. There's no bad ones. There's just women. Some are better than the others. Be open to the opportunity if that's on your list of things to do, or your checklist to check off for things you want to do in your life, but certainly do not make it a priority. I hope to get into private training so I have more control over my income and hours, but I realize that I have to market myself a lot more. I also want to start my own podcast and write books on mental health, as it has affected my family and myself, and I have a passion for learning about psychology. Good. That's awesome. I feel like helping people become healthier and prevent and treat what are suffering is my calling, but it gives me a lot of energy when I think about, okay, cool. Just cautionary idea though. Why do you want to be a nurse practitioner? That's a lot different from psychology, but we'll keep going anyway. I have been single for a while, and though I never felt good enough for women that I like. You don't have a very high opinion of yourself. I've been single for a while though, and I never feel good enough for women that I like. Okay, I know I need to work on my inner self, and I can do this as I love to read books, blog posts, and listen to podcasts and improving myself. But there's a woman I work with that's beyond gorgeous. Here we go. Here's the one-itis. It's beyond gorgeous and super cool, and I hope to attract somebody like that. She dresses up every day, and I've only seen her not dressing up once. She was like a 7 without any makeup or anything. She's a virtuous woman, though we still share some of the same interests, so that makes her a 9 or a 10 in my book. Is she a 7? Is she an 8 or a 9 or a 10? I think you're putting her up on a pedestal, my friend. She's married, though, so she is off the market, and I hope to attract somebody like her someday. See, it's interesting that you say that, because of, women's sexual strategy is open hypergamy. And if she's getting dressed up and dolled up every day, curling her hair, throwing on the makeup, doing the heels and all that sort of stuff, she's subconsciously marketing herself out there. Just be aware of that, okay? I'm wondering if I should find a mentor and become an entrepreneur and try to chase money to be good enough instead of going to nursing school. Try to chase money. No, you don't chase, guys, you don't chase money, you chase excellence. Money comes as a result of you chasing your excellence and adding value to people's lives. Anytime I've chased money in my life in the past, it's always got me in a scenario where I've become involved in a business or a business idea, or tied into something that I idealized that might have made some money, but I often created an environment or a life for myself that I didn't like. So just be aware of that. You do not chase money, you chase excellence, okay? I'm a minimalist person at heart, and I like simplicity, so it has been difficult for me to want to become an entrepreneur. Also, since I know I have the personality to be a great nurse, I'm a great trainer and writing. I feel like being an entrepreneur would be lonely and stressful, especially if I don't like it. I like being part of something bigger than myself and serving others, as nursing in the military I feel would come for me, okay? I'm wondering if all the boxes are ticked, and I know that I can work on them: fitness, personality, how I dress. How much money could I strive for to be good enough? How much money should I strive for to make to be good enough? That really depends on where you live. I mean, if you live in a cosmopolitan large city like Toronto, New York, Chicago, LA, Miami, you want a good life, you're going to need a couple $100,000 a year in income. It can be less depending on where you're at and what your minimalist strategy might look like. So that could vary. I mean, there's guys I know that live in second or third world countries, mostly second world countries, that have online businesses that make $150,000, $200,000 a year, and they live really nice. So again, it really depends on where you're located and what you're doing. I know you've said six figures, but is there like a ceiling where that number does not put you ahead of the competition as much? So as far as happiness goes, statistically speaking, I think the line in the sand is about $75,000 or $80,000 last time I checked. And they say that once you start making close to six figures, so close to that sort of annual income, your happiness doesn't necessarily go up in proportion with how much you make, because you take care of all your basic needs. You've got healthcare covered. You've got a roof over your head. You can buy high quality food. So making $80,000 versus $800,000, it's not like your level of happiness is going to multiply by that fold. I mean, you'll have access to better experiences, nicer toys, so on and so forth. But just be aware of that part of the component. So it really depends on where you fit with that. I just don't want to be alone forever, and I want to wake up with somebody I want to be with. That's one-itis thinking right there. You need to remove that thinking from your belief system right now, because that's going to land you in trouble. You need to be your own mental point of origin. If a woman is to enter your life, she's to be a complement, okay? You've mentioned sound bites like this throughout this request a couple of times now that caused me a little bit of concern. So just be aware of that. This is probably the second or third time that I've picked up on it. Maybe it's because it is a confusing time in my life and I need somebody in my life to make me happy. Nope. You should not put yourself in a position where you need somebody in your life to be happy. Happiness should be independent of somebody being in your life. You should never rely on a woman. Now, when you say somebody, you're saying it here a couple of times. I'm assuming a woman. So you should never rely on a woman to create happiness in your life. Happiness should come from within. Should be coming from your own contentment in who you are and the choices you make and the path that you choose. I still plan to always work on myself in other aspects of attraction, but I'm stuck in my career as I know that's something everybody can work on to change. You can also change your beliefs, and your beliefs are telling me here with your one-itis beliefs in somebody completing you, the whole Jerry Maguire lyric that a lot of people subscribe to. Oh, you complete me. Be careful with that. Seriously. Okay, so working to chase. So mostly 4 questions. Let's hop into this. Should I be myself in pursuing nursing and have a few small things on the side I'm passionate about and just make over 6 figures? Or should I become an entrepreneur where there's no ceiling on income to make myself more attractive? Should I be myself and pursue nursing? Well, you don't know what entrepreneurship entails. Okay. I know that it looks glamorous and sexy from the outside, but there's a lot of layers of complexity if you hope to have any kind of success as an entrepreneur and freedom. The vast majority of guys that I know that get into business for themselves, all they really end up doing is they just go and create a job for themselves. They go and manufacture something where it's like 1 or 2 employees, or maybe they have subcontractors, but they don't have the true financial freedom that they seek or the opportunity to put a dent in the universe. So make sure if you're going to manufacture a life of an entrepreneur, you understand exactly what you're getting into. At what you're describing here, I don't think that you've got the bandwidth or the know-how to really fully understand that. So my recommendation would be to be a nurse practitioner for at least a little bit, just so you can understand the way that the world works a little bit more before you go and get yourself into some trouble, which most guys do. I've said it before, about 9 out of 10 businesses fail, and even the ones that do carry on in the first three years, many of them never even passed $1 million in sales. So what's the point in manufacturing a job when you can just go work for somebody else without the liability or the risk exposure that comes with being an entrepreneur? What number should I strive to in my career income-wise? I don't know. Depends where you live. You live in Thailand, 100 grand, 150 grand you'd live like a king. You live in Toronto, New York, LA, Miami. It's not going to get you very far. So again, that really depends on what you're looking for. Take it with a grain of salt. If everything works out as a nurse practitioner, I'll be 30 when I graduate because I have to work a few years before I can start. I am just wondering if all the good ones will be taken by the time I'm 30. All the good ones, what, like all the good women? Dude, no. Yeah, you're still way too focused on chicks. Okay, stop putting women up on a pedestal. Let me say that right now. Stop putting women up on a pedestal. The undertone of your question, of your sponsored request, tells me you're still putting women up on a pedestal. Stop it. Spend your 20s working on yourself, build the foundation of your life. You're going to come in your stride with your sexual marketplace value peak. 35, 40, for some men it can even be pushed as far down as 45. So work on yourself. Don't worry that all the good ones will be taken up. If you're 35 years old and you're making $250,000 a year and you've got a great life, you haven't screwed up. Again, you didn't knock anybody up. You don't have a divorce behind you where you got divorce rape, things like that. You're in a very, very good position to be at the peak of your sexual marketplace value. At 30, 35, you could easily find a woman that's, coming out of her party years, 25 to, 28 years old roughly. And, if that's really what you want to do, if you want to wife somebody, do that. I mean, if you want to wife them up and have kids, then that's fine. It's entirely up to you, but just slow down. Cool your jets and slow down a little bit. You don't have to worry about bad things happening by the time you get 30. Do women even think entrepreneurs make a lot of money? Yes. Sorry, this is a long message, and you wanted me to keep your name out of it. So leave your name out of it. So do women even think entrepreneurs? Yeah, so they did a study. I think it was on, I don't know, Tinder or Bumble. I read it about a year or so ago. And they were measuring the swiping habits of women based on the job, because I believe it shows name, age, and then, whatever your job is. And I think the number one swiped position, based on a double-blind study sort of thing, like a split test, was pilot, for some reason. And number two was entrepreneur. So women value that career choice, provided you're successful. I mean, I know there's a lot of people that claim that they're an entrepreneur, but they run a daycare facility that, looks after 6 kids. Okay, you've just created a job for yourself. That's different. That's entrepreneurship. To me, true entrepreneurship is you've created a business that creates so much value in people's lives that they send you all this money and you become a millionaire. The measurement of that value created in monetary, standing, when I say that as far as funds, should be great because you put a little dent in their universe. I mean, the reason why Jeff Bezos is a billionaire and, the Microsoft founder, Bill Gates, and so on and so forth, I can keep going down the list, is because people use their products and services so much that it eases things. If I want to buy something, I can get something off Amazon so quickly. If I want to do work on a computer, I'm using Microsoft, programming. It's improved the lives of billions of people, not even millions, but billions. Peter Diamandis wrote a book called Abundance, and he talks about us living in the most abundant time. I mean, you can watch his TED Talk if you want more of the distilled version, but essentially, if you want to become a billionaire, solve a problem for 1 billion people, charge them $1 each, if you want to simplify things. So yeah, you'll certainly have a lot more respect and regard. But just to kind of sum up your request, the undertone, which you may not be aware of, which I want to remind you of again before we wrap this up, is you seem to be putting women up on a pedestal. That is not going to end well for you. You don't have to worry about timelines coming up on you at 30 and you having no SMV. You're just coming into your stride. I'll put a card up on the top right for one on SMV so you understand that a little bit more. Yeah, I think that's it. And just a quick note, guys, if you want to make a request like this, you just go to entrepreneursandcars.com/request. Stuck on something, sponsor video topic, you fill out your name, make your PayPal donation, you hit send, and then there'll be an opportunity for you to send your question. Community on my website is also open for men that want to join and collaborate with other men that are chasing greatness. You have access to a premium video library, monthly Q&A sessions, a private discussion forum, VIP access to events, VIP access to live broadcasts. We did one last month on getting to your first million, by the way, and a discount on my monthly coaching if you're going on a long-term basis. That's at entrepreneursandcars.com/community. There's 2 membership levels. Basic will get you in there, and that's for monthly coaching. All right, we'll see you guys in the next video. Leave a comment below if you have some advice for this gentleman. Smash the like button. If you need to share it with somebody, please do so. Thanks for supporting the creation of my content. See you guys in the next video. Peace.